Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Menoskine, and I'm here to encourage everyone to calm the fuck down. It's not what you think, it's not what you think. Yes, I'm talking about the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Yes, they said it's going to be episodic, but it's not what you think. Please everyone calm down, because this is a huge misunderstanding, 99%, because of two things. One, because of the time we live in. Yes, I'm going to elaborate on that. And second, once again, it's because a game company doesn't explain their shit properly. That press release was incredibly... let's go in order. We were all on cloud 9 when we saw the trailer for the gameplay of Final Fantasy VII Remake at the PlayStation Experience, but then we kinda foamed at the mouth when we heard that it was going to be episodic. And that's because of two things. Again, because of Square Enix not properly giving us all the details, and second, because of the time we live in, because most people nowadays, if they think of something episodic, of an episodic game, they think of Telltale games. And what do Telltale games do? They're a single game, basically, split into many little pieces, each one around 20 quid each, which did come around to like double the price of a normal game. And that's not what is happening here, because, and this Square Enix didn't disclose until now, they're collaborating for the Final Fantasy VII Remake with CyberConnect 2, which is a game development company which is famous for, lately for the JoJo Bizarre Adventure games, great games, for the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm games as well, but what started this company, what propelled them into like stardom, was a certain RPG series which was also episodic, called Hack. I have all the games of that series. Hack Goo, the 3 later, but first there was a quarantine, mutation, infection, outbreak. That's the kind of episodic RPG they want to do. They're not going to just make it a Telltale game, like you just going to have a cinematic piece of shit you play through because that's our vision. No, because Final Fantasy VII is huge, is much bigger than Final Fantasy X, is much bigger than Final Fantasy XII, is much bigger than Final Fantasy XIII. The only modern games that come close to how big Final Fantasy VII was nowadays Square Enix is Final Fantasy XIV, and that's a fucking morpg. That's how big Final Fantasy VII is, and it wouldn't fit. Especially if they want to add more scenes, more game, more characters, more storylines, because they want to fix it, because they had a lot of potholes, but it's never going to fit on one disc. So of course they have to split over 4 discs. Now, you people might say, well, they could have just put it on multiple discs and released it as once. Yeah, okay, yes, they could do that. But that brings us 2 problems. First, can you imagine the price of that thing? I love Final Fantasy VII, but I wouldn't pay $200 for a single game. Get the fuck out of here. So if they do it episodic like Hack, with each disc containing as much stuff as possible, because they don't want to cut stuff, and I agree. I prefer to do it episodic, to then have it to cut stuff. And if they want to put more stuff in it, I'm totally fine with it. But I don't want to pay $200 for that. And the second problem with that, okay, so they make the huge game, multiple discs. Can you imagine the development time for that thing? I don't want to play the next Final Fantasy VII in 2025. I want to play it like in 2 years. So if they do it like Hack, and that's what they're going to do, because otherwise there's no fucking reason whatsoever why they would be collaborating with CyberConnect 2 on this. They're collaborating with CyberConnect 2 on the Final Fantasy VII Remake, because CyberConnect 2 has experience doing episodic RPGs, and not just any episodic RPGs, but fucking Hack. We're talking about Hack. So That makes fucking sense, and that's what's happening here. And once again, if they had properly explained that, no, if they had disclosed that they were collaborating with CyberConnect 2 before telling us that Final Fantasy VII Remake was going to be episodic, this shit, this explosion of rage and outrage wouldn't have happened. Once again, this is because, of course, also our fault, because we're used to Telltale games, episodic games now, and we forget the things of the past, but also because they can do marketing like shit, because once again, Japan sucks at marketing. So, let's calm the fuck down here, because we're not going to get a Telltale-styled Final Fantasy VII Remake. We're going to have a hack-style Final Fantasy VII Remake. And I'm okay with that, because otherwise, please explain to me why hack was good, was excusable, and Final Fantasy VII isn't. Especially because they're fucking right. Fitting all that into one CD is impossible, and I don't want to pay $200 for a single fucking video game, and I want to play it soon. So I really have no complaints about that kind of project. I mean, CyberConnect 2 Hack and Final Fantasy VII are two of my favorite games ever. I have all the Hack video games, and they're fucking fine. They're some of the finest RPGs I ever played. They're not going to make it Telltale style. They're not going to make it download only, no. They're going to make it like hack, and that's perfectly fine. Once again, the only thing I have to put against them is that they fucked up the reveal. Please, motherfucking Japan, as a whole, has to learn how to properly market shit! You don't know how to do marketing properly, and this is the result! Motherfuckers! I know this is going to sound like a bad word to you, but Japan, take a page out of South Korea's book. Those guys know how to market shit. You don't. Learn to do it. Please avoid having me... I don't want to have to call people down again. Please properly learn how to market, announce, and do press releases. Motherfucker! See you next time!